Moving pictures was a mixed blessing to me in retrospect, for me personally in my life. A lot of strange people came out of the woodwork. There was so much attention on us at that time that was transitory.
You know, generally, we were pretty private, and I think moving pictures was the turning point when there was a lot more pressure from fans and from people wanting a piece of you or believing they were connected to you in some other way.
There was a time when we first started getting recognized that I got a little touchy about it. And I remember I started thinking about this thing about fame and how you deal with it. That was kind of an epiphany. And I said to myself, I'm gonna go where I wanna go. And if somebody comes up to me and he's nice to me and wants an autograph, I got time for him. It's no big deal.
Getty, right?
That's right.
Oh my God, that's Getty?
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
No problem.
That's it.
One is to... One is to Shawnee.
Didn't mean to get in your way, sir.
The first one's to Shawnee. And the next one's to Troy. That's what I promised. I'm so sorry for that. We want his too. Yes, he's the leader of the group.
I can walk around the city and get recognized from time to time. Getty more so. He's got a very distinctive look about him. But generally, people are very polite. They don't want too much from you. I understand that these are your fans that just love what you do. There's been a moment in their lives where your music has been so important to them that to take a couple of minutes and just chat, shake a hand or a hug or something, it's not a big deal.
I remember when I met them, I was just struck by Geddy Lee and Lifeson's friendship. It seemed like they had a real deep bond, real playful and sort of goofy. Just seemed like there was a lot of joy there, a lot of genuine fun. And then I turned the corner, and then I saw the master, Neil Peart. He had sort of a different vibe going, just as focused, but a brewing intensity, little wisps of darkness.
And Neil has a real struggle with fans, and it's not a personal thing. It's a shyness thing. He's not able to be as relaxed around strangers as Alex or I am. You know, he doesn't mean to hurt anyone's feelings by it. He's not trying to be rude. He's just not comfortable.
Okay, I was the world's biggest Who fan as a kid. I never dreamed of trying to find their hotel and knocking on their door or interfering in their lives in any way. I don't understand. I love being appreciated. Being respected is awfully good, but anything beyond that just creeps me out, you know? Any sense of adulation is just, like, so wrong.
I got a chance to go meet Neil Peart, and I got brought into a room and I started to tell him, hey, I'm the hugest fan ever, and I got sort of the Neil Peart cold shoulder, and the security guard removed me from the room. It was a weird, uncomfortable situation. I love Neil Peart even though he totally blacklisted me. But I would understand, like, if I was Neil Peart and Ike walked in the room, I would probably want to remove me too.
Neil was great, very intense man, but very, you know, his line, I can't pretend a stranger is a long-awaited friend, that's Neil.
People have a fantasy, I don't want to trample on it, but I also don't want to live it. And people can think that I'm antisocial or a sourpuss or anything. It's really not. It doesn't make me mad, it embarrasses me. The other guys, you know, are obviously comfortable with it, and they do the meets and greets every night, and then fine. So, you know, they can do it.
1, 2, 3.
I am so appreciative of our fans. I bless their hearts every single day. But they're hard to analyze as a group because they're so different. We have hardcore fans, the old fans that have been there from the beginning, and they're usually male, and they are really intense.
In the early stages, it was very young, almost 100% male. And then as the years went by, it remained 100% male.
The chicks did not really dig it, you know. I still don't throw on Caress of Steel that often with my wife around.
Tonight is my 113th Rush show. The last time I missed a show anywhere in Europe was on the Signals tour.
Tonight will be the 7th on this tour. Been to 2 in America, 1 in Canada. Did all 6 in the last UK tour.
My name's Pete. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I just had my 100th show in Stockholm.
Rush fans are like NASCAR fans. They ain't going anywhere, man. They're brand loyalty. They are a cult band. When you go to a Rush concert, there ain't anybody leaving until the song is over. They're waiting for their favorite part. They're nudging their friend. They're going, look, he played it perfect. They're riveted to the band.
The band have that relationship with their audience, where their audience really feel like the Rush lyrics communicate to them, make them feel like their experience is heard.
I have this memory of sitting in the basement with my mother. I actually said to her, I want to play you a song. And it was very hard to ever get my parents' attention or anything, so it was like a big deal. Will you please sit here, and I want to play you a song. And I played Entre Nous, and I gave her the lyric sheet because I wanted her to understand that this song was connecting with me on some level. When I was 16 years old, I wasn't as emotionally open. I was very withdrawn. So something about that song allowed me to say, somehow this song is almost like it's written for me.
Music when you're growing up is like such a strong part of like, what do you like? What's your deal? What's your identity? Rush seemed to be just a complete added dimension of not being just obsessed with girls and hair and shit like that. You know what I mean? They seem to be kind of smart. And of course, fancying myself as a really smart kid, I was like, oh, that's my deal.
Not so clearly charted, it's really just a question of your honesty. Yeah, your honesty. Glittering prizes and endless compromises shatter the illusion of integrity. Yeah, doom. And when you're hearing like lyrics like that are so earnest and sincere, talking about honesty in art and asking some of the tougher intellectual questions with that great music behind it, they really offered something in rock that was in short supply.
And plus, they sang in French. On Circumstances, plus c'est la même chose. That was pretty tricky. You didn't hear that on any Kiss records. It's like the dude is singing in French now. I can't even figure out his English.
It wasn't for everybody, you know, and it wasn't necessarily cool. You were kind of like a Rush geek, you know, a music nerd, a kind of nerd, and it was sort of nerdy music, I suppose.
Growing up, it all seems so one-sided. Opinions all provided, the future pre-decided, detached and subdivided in the mass production zone. Nowhere is the dreamer or the misfit so alone.
You listen to Subdivisions, and it just seemed like exactly my life. You know, I was that kid who was watching the car drive away with all the cool kids, going off to a party that I wasn't invited to. It was just nice to feel like there was a rock song out there that spoke to my experience, trying to be cool and worrying about being cast out of a group of friends if you weren't cool. I wasn't very cool, but luckily I had a group of friends that was equally not cool.
I lived in a housing development, suburbia, backyard barbecues, and a lot of the stuff that I think most American kids could relate to. I remember watching the video, and I'm like, damn, that represents me right there. This one person walking around, not really being in a group. It seemed like it was this person that nobody really could relate to.
The thing I loved about Neil was he took very complex metaphysical themes and he was able to put them in a way that everybody could understand. And whether he was ripping off Shakespeare or he was quoting his own heart, he was able to do it in a way that never felt snobby or always felt like he was in the room talking to you.
Words can carry different freight for different people, of course, but those who do have the sensitivity to pay the kind of attention to lyrics that I put into them, it's wonderful to connect that way, to feel that you're not playing down to anyone. We've always had the impression that people are just as smart as we are, so if we can figure this stuff out, they can too, you know, and we're not being that terrible damning word pretentious. We're not pretending anything. This is really what turned us on this year, you know. Lyrically, it's always been a reflection of my times and the times I observe, but everyone is a reflection of me.